Alright, so here we are in Pillars of Ghouls. We got in us in a top right corner a blue Zerg fighting for the Genetic Green Wings. He is a rogue. His opponent in the red, the opposite side of the map. He is, of course, nobody else but Ro4 Gaming's. Right, Terran? Dream. Okay, so how are they going to approach this one? Dream and Rogue, I feel like, are pretty well matched together, right? Dream, definitely somebody that is going to be able to take some games away here. From somebody, even though he is as experienced as Rogue is. Rogue sometimes has a bit of a checkered kind of progression, in a way. Right, goes up and down. I guess that's with a lot of progress overall, but with in particular, and a lot of the times when progress does go down, it feels like, you know, it's getting ready to go up again. But with Rogue, sometimes it doesn't quite feel that exactly. It just feels like, you know what, sometimes you just don't perform as well as we're used to. So which Rogue are we going to be seeing here today? That's the real question. And of course, Dream. Dream, also somebody that is very much capable of bringing down some Titans. Can have an absolute ass-kicking performance. But will he be, having one of those here today? There's some strong opponents, of course. A lot of tall mountains to climb for him. But overall, definitely seems like he is one of these players that may have a shot at becoming one of the next Terran horsemen overall. Alright, command center on the low ground and a quick drone towards that third base. Looking to hide out. Ensure that he will not be blocked off by the Reaper coming in right now. Still feels like it should become an obvious thing for Terrans, right? That they should send their Reaper towards the left side first and foremost to find that the drone. Trying to make the third base. So I suppose if you don't send your SCV either, maybe not that worth it. And maybe it is more important to get the natural on the main base scouts going. Otherwise you may get cheesed as well. But it just feels like such a cheeky little thing. Just such a little cheeky thing that is so common for everybody. I'd be surprised if I don't see somebody do it. Even without really knowing that the drone is there. Just kind of assuming the drone is there and then going over there with the Reaper. Okay, so sees the third base, going for a 1-1-1 behind this. And another one. Command center that is. Hellions. Let's see where that barracks is going to fly off to. It's actually flying off to the right side here. Not as common. He's going to try to make a wall with the barracks. Oh, he's going to try to find the overlords here on the perfect pillar. Nothing there, though, unfortunately for him. Should be able to put the barracks back down here, unless if he wants to do something else. Alright, he's going to move it backwards. Viking on the way. This could be a tech lab on this barracks as well for the starports, of course. Maybe some Banshee play. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Rogue can sometimes get a little bit aggressive, right? Whether that be through a Nidus network or just a bunch of roaches popping up. Yes, the attack lab. Not 100% sure if this is going to be for Banshees. Could just be for a quicker stim as well, of course. It's not entirely on top of the starports, so makes me have my doubts. Yeah, there it is. There is that stim. Overlord gonna attempt to get the scout off in the main base, but with 2 Marines and a Viking there, that is not a easy thing to do. Immediately punished right there. Don't think he would have gotten any scouting done anyway, right? If he kept going forwards. I know it died anyway, so he may as well have tried, but I mean, with all the attack being quite low here, I don't think positionally wise low, not on the HP bar, of course, but I think, yeah, worth a try, right? Worth a try. Doesn't matter too much. Armory on the way, it looks like. And a second factory as well. Could this be the Widowmine style? That is following up a Hellbat push right here. I think we may see just that right now. I mean, he already has the Hellions. May as well make them some Hellbats, right? And then go into the Widowmine style afterwards. A style very, very popularized by Cure, of course. There we go. There's the Hellbats. A lot more tanky right now. These little waddling boys. Aren't they not adorable? Using their, I don't know where they get those armor plates from on the front side, but it's working. I think it's like from the top side of the Hellion, right? Okay, and they move backwards so far, already being held off, and a couple of Zerglings here gonna try to put the pressure on the other side. See that there's Widowmines as well, so that's pretty cool to see. Oh, this is nice. Oh my god, you're kidding me. What a man, saving those 2 SCVs right there. The tiny things, they do add up ultimately in this game of StarCraft 2, of course, so Rogue being able to predict that those links were gonna come that way. Already saving his SCVs right there. It's a tiny thing, but it's still very cool to see these tiny little moments where you can see how good these players are at predicting the movement of their opponents. And realizing, alright, well, he's going to want to check for my third base. He's going to try to see if he can get 1 or 2 SCVs. There are 1 or 2 SCVs here. May as well just move them to the side. Ensure that I will not get picked off. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, alright, this Widowmine style that is coming up here. We're seeing that it is being combined with, well, a couple of Marinas here and the Medevacs as well. Ooh, Widowmines. Keep retargeting here. Come on. Not the greatest connections. That other Widowmine? How did that other Widowmine get spotted? Did it just not never burrow? That could be the case. Viking here, trying to do a little bit of damage onto every Overlord. You know what? Getting them low on the HP, every single one of them. A little bit sloppy with that Viking there. I guess he's a bit busy with setting up the new attacks right now. More Widowmines. Again, they're also not the cleanest of aggression. Having another Widowmine just following this Medevac around. Not what you would like to see. Widowmine right there. Again, a great split from Rogue. Rogue really on top of his anti-Widowmine splitting here. Very impressive. Now Dream still chilling. Still looking like he will be able to come in here. And this is what that Viking was about earlier on, right? He was only here really to push those Overlords backwards. To ensure a bit of a cleaner, safe passageway for these Medevacs to be coming in from this side. From this angle. Oh, there we go. There's some nice cleaning up of the drones right now. Oh, even gonna get those other 2 drones as well. Very good stuff. Only losing a single Widowmine for 11 workers right there. Alright, this could get nasty if this one Widowmine gets an insane connection. It really doesn't. More so getting the connection onto its own units. And we see Infestors right now coming in. So that is a very cool thing as well. Infestors may be able to help out against the, well, the bio pushes as well as the, against the Widowmines, I suppose, also. Don't let them get away too quickly. It's going to be able to just spot them as well. Oh, nice targeting there. Getting 2 of the Infestors right there. They are very expensive units after all. And I'm loving this from Rogue. I don't get to see Infestors all too much, and a lot of the time I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't this game be a lot better if the Zerg has Infestors? And oh my god, alright, well, this is starting to get a bit nasty. Quick splits, alright. Also loses a ginormous chunk of Zergling right there. The Widowmine play though, it is still so incredibly frustrating to play against for a Zerg. It can be quite bothersome. You need to be on top of your micro at all stages. A little miss micro and blam, there you have it. A lot of Zerglings that are just going to go down. It's only you're left with not a lot to deal with the rest of the army. Still enough though, the Infestors also continuously being quite a scary thing here. Oh, that's going to be big. Another 4. Actually, I thought that would be bigger. Oh, that one's pretty darn big. Jeez Louise. Alright, so let's take a look at the units lost tab. 173 Zerglings already have been killed off. 24 workers as well. There's a hive tech is on the way here. It's another benefit, I suppose, from going for the quicker infestors. You may not have the Mutalisk to shut down the Medivacs and such, but it's very unlikely that you're going to be finding those Medivacs before the Widow Mines really land anyway, right? With your, because your Mutalisk floor can only be on one location. And this right here with the infestors, the fungal, seems to also kind of help out against this kind of stuff. You can ultimately take out Medivacs with infestors. It takes a while, but these types of pushes, they definitely get quite weakened if you just keep doing this. Another very important thing that I haven't mentioned just quite yet. We still don't have a Baneling Nest. It's 11 minutes in, and Rogue has opted not to go for a Baneling Nest. So, is this just a new way of approaching this matchup that we're witnessing right here? Is it just him trying something out? It definitely seems like an interesting style. Instead of relying on the Widowmine AoE splash damage, you just kind of rely on the Zergling DPS combined with the infestors to deny the enemy units from microing backwards. And look at that, 2 Medivacs like that do go down. A lot of workers also get killed off on both sides this time around, though. He's doing well so far. Ooh, good split. Well, the Widowmine is still there. There's one over here. These are Medivacs. Couple of Liberators also coming in. Looks like Dream is anticipating a Ultralisk switch here. Which I also was kind of anticipating, because Ultralisk, they do incredibly well against Widowmines. They don't just straight up die to them. And there is, in fact, an Ultralisk Kevin. But the Ultralisk Kevin is coming out at a time where, you know what, overall, Dream already feels like he's set up shop against Ultralisk, right? He's got 5 Marauders at a time being produced. He's got Liberators on the field already. Okay, they are about to be cleaned up by the infestors, but still. That's what his production is making right now. I guess he's making a lot of Medivacs as well, because they are being picked off slowly by the infestors here. Look at that. Only 3 remain, actually. This one should be able to be cleaned up as well. Only a single HP left on this bad boy. Okay, well, Rogue is going to let him go. And this is a very cool style to see. This is not something you see every day here. Okay, Ghost Academy on the way. That's a smart call, actually. Against this style, just go for the Ghost Academy, get the EMP, and just shut down those infestors. That will enable your Liberators. It will enable your Widowmines a lot better. And make it a lot more difficult for Rogue to get the fights going into his favor. Of course, Fungal, not as long range, I suppose, as especially if the EMP shockwaves get enhanced also. A couple of Zerglings there getting the wrong directions, it looks like. Oh, more Widowmine drops as well. There's a 9 worker killed off right now. In the previous 3rd base for Rogue. He's trying to gain more bases as well. Did have a nice delay on that base on the bottom right side. It's the 5th base for Dream. As Rogue is trying to set up a 6th. So things still going equal in that tally. Single Widowmine here. Okay, only killing off 2, 3 Zerglings right now. Should be able to burrow another Ling there. Yes, he does. Oh, that's just so annoying here for Dream. He's going to have to deal with this again now. Trying to do some harassment on the left side also with these Zerglings right now. Okay, Zerglings again coming in. Man, Rogue is just on 2 locations here. Continuously running back and forth with these Lings. Very impressive stuff overall. Trying to find wherever his opponent is weak. Not finding too much just quite yet. He's going to have to retreat once again. Those infestors, they may not be able to facilitate that much of a benefit to Rogue's army for that much longer now with those ghosts in the play as well. I suppose you only need like 1 or 2 fungals overall You're not going to be able to chain fungal that much anymore with those ghosts on the field. Unless if you really send in one at a time. But that is that's some micro that I would not recommend trying to do. Very likely to just get stimmed onto and taken out very quickly. Circlings now accompanied by those big brothers of theirs. The Ultralisk on the field as well. But again, right, we already have Marauders, we have Ghosts, we have Liberators on the way. It's an awkward setup here for Rogue, and very curious to see where he is willing to take this. There is a Spire on the way. Could it be that he just wants to try and get to the Greatest Spire here? I think the Greatest Spire definitely could help out quite a bit. Not gonna lie. There we have a big fight on the right side. A nice surround with the Lynx coming in from behind as well. Fungal's working out alright, but as you can see, a lot of those infestors getting their energy drained. Not finding everything they wanted to. This planetary is going to go down. What would be more efficient here? Wants to get that Ghost a little bit ambitious there, perhaps. It's an interesting thing. What is more efficient? Going in with like Lynx and Ultralisk, getting quite a few of them shot, or just sending in a big clump of Banelings to just... oh my god. Oh, those EMPs are being absolutely lethal right now. But yeah, all going in with the Banelings, just suiciding onto a planetary. Gotta be careful with that Ultra. The Liberators are still here, of course. Nothing that can really take out those Liberators. The Spire could try to help out against those guys as well. Just make a couple of Corruptors, but yeah, this is not that great. The snipes are going off absolutely everywhere. I think, you know what? We may have found the weakness in the army composition of Rogue here. He's got 10 Ultras on the way? He's got 10 Ultras on the way? What is this? Alright, well, that is something else. He's still gonna have to get something against the Liberators, though. Another massive EMP right now, right on top of those Infestors. And most of them are getting cleaned up right now. Those Ultralisk not really aware of what they're supposed to be doing at this moment either. Most of them just gonna get shot down before they get to do anything. Rogue trying to gather up all his forces. Still 2 Infestors remaining. Yeah, I think maybe you don't want to have as many Infestors, at least not together. The Ultralisk will clean this up, but I mean, he lost so much stuff right now. He lost 2 bases. He lost, you know, he did kill off some of the workers here as well for Dream. Yeah, hold up the phone, actually. Dream doesn't have that much of a supply either, does he? He's struggling as well to get his game sorted again. These 10 Ultralisk that popped out, they are doing a number on the attempting to reinforce here for Dream. Planetary here also gets taken out. 2 Ultras chasing down a clump of units that they have no real business trying to fight. But you know what, they are being zoned out rather nicely. The rest of the Ultralisk gonna take over, and yeah, that's it. GG. Dream is dead, accepted. Well, I mean, I just didn't think he would. I didn't think he would die. I guess he just didn't have enough enough economy behind this, right? Really was struggling to get his remix going. F2 plus A, 10 Ultras is GG. I don't know. Like, if he has, if he did reinforce with more snipers, with more ghosts, with some extra liberators, that would have been okay. Because the overall attack of his, I mean, he was continuously trying to reinforce. Maybe that's where he went wrong. I think he could have tried to just move backwards after killing off that second hatchery, gather up all his stuff, and not bleed out more units. I think he may have still been okay, but it's a rough one. Another big problem was, of course, in the bottom right side, losing that many SCVs because he didn't have a planetary there. As far as I'm aware. I don't think he did, because otherwise 2 Lynx would not be able to do that much. Alright. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Game number 2. Oxide will be the play. Will be the next battlefield. Rogue again, showcasing that he's pretty darn good at this game. Pretty darn good. Also, what's up, Tech9 and Slow as well? How are you guys doing? Let's see who else joined. Cynical. Awesome, awesome. All right. Anyway, welcome. Oxide, one of the smaller maps, I would say. I think very much playable with that playstyle as well. I'm interested to see, are we going to see Rogue again go for the investor play here? It was pretty darn cool. I think it is with some real potential there, right? At least in the earlier parts of the game. Before there's Ghost available, that looked very, very lethal. Always fine when Alpha X is up with some dope games and casting. How are you? I'm doing fantastic as well, man. You know what? Some StarCraft 2. Just chilling on a day off, you know. Talking about the game. Seeing Rogue do some weird stuff. Doesn't get much better than that. Also, of course, we recently had the Shopify tournament once again getting announced for December. So that is also something great to look forward to at the moment. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Man. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be able to sit in the Shopify casting team. Who knows? Who knows? But until then, I'm getting some pretty darn epic games anyway, regardless from all these Alpha X casts, so not much to complain about. Not much to complain about. But you know what? I am a Dutch person, and Dutch people absolutely love to complain about everything, so it's in our nature. It's in our nature. So if you press me, I'll definitely find some things to complain about. I will unlock my inner Dutchie and go on about how awful the weather is, or how other things are going bad, the job or people at work. I don't know, anything. Dutch people, they love it. They love a good bit of complaining. It's a bonding experience, really. Alright, so 2 macro openings here. A macro hatch, well, not a macro hatch, but a natural base first here for Rogue, and a low ground command center for Dream with a Reaper already moving across the field. Is it gonna find this drone right now? I mean, it is such a short distance to check right now. It feels a little bit silly not to check, but alright, well, here he goes again. I'm telling you, Terran players, it's such a common thing. Like, the drone, it won't go to the triangular base. It's always going to go towards the flat. Oh my god, he lost the Reaper. Dream lost the Reaper. What's this? No, this is the... and then it... Well, this... Okay, so that is... Oh god. I'm afraid to say. Eng. I don't know, something like that. ... 9 out of 10 times they faced Rogue One. Damn. Damn. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty darn impressive. So yeah, it would be quite an upset then if Rogue wins, huh? Or I mean, if Dream wins. If Rogue wins. There is a Ro4 on the way here for Rogue. Rather early one. Could be something cheeky. Let's see if he manages to keep it hidden here. These Hellions are trying their best to get into that base though. I'm not even sure, it doesn't feel like he's trying to hide it at all anyway. Right? He is very much trying to keep the Hellions out though with those screens. pushing back. They're on both sides now, surrounded by the fire trucks. 5 roaches on the way. Still droning up a little bit behind this as well. Could just be a little bit of roach. I mean, he did get a hellbat attack against him previously. Could try to maybe go across the field here slightly as well with a bit of pressure. If your opponent is going for a hellbat attack again here, which, you know what, actually seems like we may very well have that. A bit of roach pressure could do wonders, right? You're going to be able to see those Hellions coming in. You're going to be able to maybe take on a couple of those Hellions before they turn into hellbats. And that should be pretty darn good. So yeah, here come those few roaches immediately. A couple of bunkers also on the way here for Dream as he sees that this is coming over across to him. So this is quite a bit of an investment, right, into all the defenses. The Hellions are staying home, so there's no hellbat attack at all. While, well, Rogue is just kind of laughing at home, sitting here, droning up like a madman. And making a lay attack. Getting a gazillion gas pretty darn soon as well. And yeah, that must be feeling, you must be feeling pretty silly right now, Dream. His third base also, right? The idea is with that hellbat push, that's the moment when you start sending out that third base. He never really moved it. So that's going to be delayed. He's already starting up a 4th base here, but that was a very slight, tiny bit of mind game here that did go into Rogue's favor. The slightest bit of roach aggression, really. All they did was basically get a single shot off in the middle of the map onto 1 or 2 Hellions, and that's about it. That's about all they did, and they managed to do quite a ton right now. Can, of course, still build this up into the 1-1 roach all-in. We'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the case. Looks like it may be. There is a lot of roaches coming in, after all. All these upgrades lining up rather nicely as well. Dream doing an okay job at cleaning up creep. Still a couple of queens though, ready to re-implant those tumors. Fourth base for Mr. Rogue, also on the way. Drogue. It's the wrong word. Wrong word entirely. I think this could do really well against somebody that wants to go for the heavy Widowmine play, right? I mean, it really should. So much investment into harassment. I mean, and then with the biles as well. Even if you use the Widowmines defensively, you're going to be able to just bile them down. And, you know, even if you don't bile them down, the roaches are pretty darn strong against this. So, it's very, very much fine for him. Okay, let's see the Widowmines coming in here. Getting a little bit of damage done. The other medevac a bit preoccupied right now with doing other things, it looks like. Alright, we'll come back to that at a later point. Come on. Alright, gets a couple more. Roach attack here, it looks pretty promising as well still, right? Wants to get rid of those rogues. That's a smart move. Losing the Overseer, though, that's a bit of an unfortunate blow as well. Guess there wasn't much he could do to really save that one. But nonetheless, he should still be able to bile down the Widowmines. Should not be able to bring too much of a problem there for Rogue. Oh, dear lord. Zergling's now in the main base as well. Good split on that roach right there. Not taking too much damage. The Bio looking kind of cheeky right now. Looking pretty darn strong together with the siege tanks in the back. We'll be able to push this backwards, but 24 workers being killed off here in Rogue's favor. He did lose 10 to the Widowmine drops as well, but that is all right. You know, that's not something too bad when things are going this well. It's going to go for the Roach Warden here also. Going for a completely different style right now. Oh, yeah, okay, 4 workers. Another Widowmine being burrowed. Oh, he gets another 3. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Oh, come on. Okay, does manage to get it out, but Only a single drone right there. Another Widow Mine over here, so if there's a big transfer coming in, maybe that will be quite a bloody sight to behold. Viking and Medevac right there. Uh-oh. Okay. Ooh, does get it. Does get it in the nick of time. There is the 5th base now on the way for Dream, as his 4th is being constructed into a planetary base. +2/+2 on the way. And Rogue, his creep spread is looking absolutely magnificent. His worker count is looking good. His upgrades are looking fine. It's not great, but, you know, he's not ahead in upgrades, but he's looking good on them. Let's see, this could just be too much, actually, already here for Dream, but Rogue does push backwards. It's a difficult choke to push through, especially with 4 siege tanks on the other side. I can concur. That is not going to be an easy thing to do. And Rogue moves backwards. 10 more workers got killed off. He got 11 kills on that Widow Mine right there. I think I missed the drone transfer. That did come in eventually here. More Widow Mines. Doing a pretty darn good job here. Finding some damage continuously, right? As long as you keep finding that damage, maybe eventually you'll be able to finally stomp that economy gain from Rogue. Rogue has to replenish those drones as well to really allow himself the unfavorable trading kind of playstyle here. Oh, finds a couple of Vipers. That could be a good pick of. Not a lot of Marines though on the high ground, really ready to try and take that fight on the left side. We also have a bit of a drop going on here. Those get picked up with as many units as possible. Okay, so Dream did manage to get Rogue back across the field here, right? Did manage to get Rogue once again focused on his side for a while, but was it enough? Wasn't enough in time. It's gonna make another nice artichoke here. An artificial choke for those of you who weren't there the previous time. And Rogue. Is it a good idea to get aggressive here? I think so, right? I mean, he is on max supply. Don't use the banelings for that. Okay. He is on max supply. He wants to get rid of some of those Ravagers. He wants to get a bigger tier 3 army composition, right? He wants to get the Ultras out. He may want to get a couple of Corruptors. Stuff like this to really get that ball going for the tier 3. Those Widow Mine hits are being pretty darn juicy, but there's still quite a couple of Ravagers here. Not that much bio remaining. They do have +2/+2, and there's still a siege tank left. There's still more siege tanks behind this as well, actually, of course. They are helping out. Do manage to push back the Ravagers, but as I've mentioned before, it's not really the main priority anymore for Rogue to keep those units alive. Kind of wanted to trade out there and did an okay job. Didn't lose them just entirely for no reason. Did manage to clean up some of the forces there of Dream also, and that means that he is not going to be able to get pushed too heavily too soon. If you lose all those Ravagers instantly without really getting anything traded out as well, there's a big chance that you will just get killed off by a counterattack, right? Right, so Rogue here, back to 39 workers, even though he lost 64 workers right now, guys. 64 casual worker losses, still on a good 90. It's alright, it's okay. Let's look at the income graph, definitely in favor for Rogue here. What was the resources lost tab, actually? Yeah, that's not in favor for Rogue, is it? I mean, looking at this, it does still kind of seem playable here for Dream. He has the siege tanks, he has the Marauders, he's getting himself ghosts as well. He's actually getting a second Ghost Academy here. Perhaps going to go for some nukes in the future. Let me see where the Ghost Academies are. There they are. Put that hotkey on top of it. Ooh, catching a couple of these Ultralisk right now. Banelings also trying to come in. Oh, that's a nice Widow Mine hit right there. The Vipers with the parasitic bomb, though, definitely doing a number on those medevacs. Those medevacs are very important to keep alive right now. Of course, they will allow you to, well, keep your bio alive first and foremost. But if you need to replenish them because you lost them, then that means you're gonna fall behind on potential Liberators, right? The Liberators definitely something you would like to get against those Ultralisk. Viking here. Getting some free money shots on top of those overseers. Oh, well, look, a Spore Crawler crawling underneath. A Planetary Fortress will make this a very difficult trade right now, but the Vipers, the Blinding Cloud, really coming in handily here. I don't think this base will be cleaned up right now, but I mean, nothing too badly traded there for Rogue either, right? Be able to get a replenishment going very quickly. A lot of Banelings actually on the way right now. Not going to get completed just quite yet. There's some solid snipes on top of those Ultralisk. And Rogue definitely doesn't have a bank at the time to get himself 10 Ultralisk on the field instantly. Oh, those Banelings actually good connections right there. No Widow Mines to protect this army anymore. Not quite sure what happened to the Widow Mine count, but it's not here. That's for sure. Ghost sniping, almost getting both of the Ultralisk. Still finding a good bit of success with these units. This is the struggle right now, and oh, Rogue, you sneaky, sly little snake. Gonna try to get himself the top left side base, a base that Dream desperately needs if he wants to take this to the Supreme late game and make it a victory. Okay, Rogue. Still, I would give him a bit of a lead here, right? But, I mean, you gotta hand it to Dream as well. He's playing very well. He still has 77 workers. How many orbitals do we have? We have got 6 of them, so his economy is pretty darn booming as well. The one thing maybe is that he... oh dear, don't get hit by Banelings with those ghosts. That could be another thing. Okay, the attack of Rogue actually going to 2 separate planetary fortresses. Does make it more difficult for the Terran to micro his bio, but at the same time, of course, 2 planetaries, they do a lot more damage than just a single planetary. 18 workers do get picked off, but as we mentioned before, 6 orbitals right here, ready to replenish the mineral income. It's not the worst, because that is going to be quite a... nice bit of extra money coming in, and the bases are about to run dry here for Dream, of course, which is why that top left side base is so incredibly important. Okay, a good cloak on those ghosts. There's still a Spore Crawler nearby, though, which is making this difficult. There comes the nuke into the sky. Where is it going to land? It's going to land right on top of this queen right now, and top of a good amount of Spore Crawlers also. This base should be able to be picked off right now. There wasn't anything getting zoned out, unfortunately, by the nuclear missile, but still pretty darn cool. There's another one coming into the base this time around. Nice position on this ghost. It is visible, but I don't know if Rogue is really paying attention to it right now. Let's try to see. Oh, there we go. 30 workers gone like that. Rogue also struggling actually with his worker count right now, although his base is also starting to run dry here. Everything is starting to run dry. This base here in the top left side now being mined from rather efficiently. Dream desperately needs to figure out that this is a base that is in contention right now. That is been taken by Rogue. He has no idea. He doesn't even know that there's anything. Okay, now he should know. He should know. He sees it on the minimap right there. Okay, he's coming in. The sensor tower just barely being able to see what is going on here. Needs to come in. Already sending a orbital over there. Oh, with a mine. Not getting the best detonation right there. Marauders versus the Banelings, though, not the worst either. Okay, yeah, and Dream once again holding on here. GG is called, and just like that, Rogue taps out. He realized that top left side base was a crucial location. Couldn't quite get his economy high enough, or quickly up to the level that he needed it to be, and has to tap out right there. Dream, very solid play, very solid play. Yeah, Vipers definitely worked out rather nicely against the siege tanks, but after after you have the Terran not going for siege tanks anymore, would that be a good moment in time to maybe switch it up to the Infestors again? I think there may be something. There may be something there, right? Just to, instead of sticking to the Vipers. And sure, you're gonna get the parasitic bombs on the medevacts. You're gonna get blinding clouds here and there on some bio, but it's not the most game-winning, well, not the fight-winning maneuver, right? It's nice that you're getting those kills on those medevacts, sure, but it doesn't help you win the fight at that moment in time. If you use those abilities, they may have 1 or 2 extra less medevacts available. But other than that, what really is there, you know? What really is there? Just a single fungal would already be a bit better. Now, the fungals, the Infestor, of course, they are weaker against the Ghost as well. Which is the other side of that coin, the other side of that story. Which would be a good reason not to go for them as well, of course. But yeah. It's rough. It's rough. You can't go without Vipers and without Infestors, right? That is just an absolute no-go. That is no way that is going to work out for you. But oh well. Oh well, moving on forwards. Game number 3 is on the way. Let me quickly grab myself a bit of drinkage. Huh. That's interesting. Rogue choices in army composition has been baffling. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool, right? He's trying out some different things here. In that final game, it felt a little bit more normal. Like, we aren't seeing any Mutalisk play, but that is still something that is isn't too uncommon, right? Going for the Zerglings, Banelings. I guess the Roach Ravagers mixed in there as well was a little bit of an in-between. But then go straight into the Ultralisk is something that we have seen before in the StarCraft, right? In the bottom right side, the blue Zerg fighting for the Jin Green Wings. He is Rogue. His opponent in the top left side, he is the red Terran player fighting for the Brave Star Gamers. He is Dream. Never built anything to attack air for 20 minutes while he was taking constant damage from drops. Yeah, I mean, he had some spore crawlers here and there. He was taking quite a bit of damage from those drops indeed as well. It's a valid point. It's definitely a valid point. Just wanted all his money for Ultralisk and Banelings and Zerglings, I suppose, but yeah, you're gonna have more money if you manage to protect your economy a bit more efficiently. Remember, like, he lost, like, what was it, 70 workers? If not more, in the end. Now, 70 workers on their own, that is almost a healthy drone count already, right? He had to almost replenish his entire mineral lines everywhere. His entire drone count. And that ain't cheap. That ain't cheap. Alright, let's see. Let's see where he goes off to right now. There is that drone. There he is. Look at that. Predictable? Anyway. Coming in again, let's see if Rogue manages to get that Reaper killed off once again. I doubt that he would. Really was not supposed to lose the Reaper the previous game. Very quick third command center here. Once more from Dream. That seems to be just the pathway of the Terran these days. Takes a little bit longer to ramp up the game right now. Get everybody going, but overall, still a very, very nice way to open it up. A greedy way by all means, but not too dangerous either. You still have that Reaper, of course, kind of checking out what your opponent is doing. You're going to see the drone count and such. Is he going for anything crazy? No? Alright, well, I mean, it's not that much that can really catch you off guard right now. Maybe like a big roach flood at this moment in time. Could be scary, but, I mean, he already made his third base. It would be less than optimal. Oh, there's the Roach Warren. This map is famous for the 1-1 Roach timing attack, after all. Just because of that third base being, well, quite a wide receiver of the Roach spitting balls. Trying to see where Rogue will take this one into, right? I wanna see this circling into Infestor style again. Honestly, that really tickled my fancy. I guess he won't do it because it looked like Dream very quickly managed to formulate a response with those ghosts coming in. But it still feels like a cool in-between kind of strategy here. Just instead of just going straight from Lynx to Ultralisk, you get yourself those Infestors mixed in as well. Increase the potential of the, not just the Zerglings, but also the Ultralisk, of course. And maybe afterwards you can try to see where else you can take it into. You can always still get a Baneling Nest at a later point in time, right? It's not like you're not allowed to then make a Baneling Nest after that. Against the Ghost. Because Ghosts don't do that well against Banelings. They tend to get blown up a little bit. So a lot of gas being taken here by Rogue. Definitely looking more and more likely here that to have a bit of a timing attack building up here. Our third base for Dream is moving towards the triangular location, so prime real estate for those roaches. We did have an armory finishing up again here, but nothing of the sorts of a Hellbat attack. Maybe Dream is trying to hide the fact that he does have that armory this time around. Try to make it be a bit more of a surprise that those Widowmines suddenly coming in with the stealth and the drilling claws. Because it is such a common way to kind of follow this up, right? After the Hellbat push, you already have the armory, you got the, well, sometimes the second factory, and then it is just one of the most common ways to go on about your business after such an attack, right? Just go straight into the Widowmine harassment. So that makes a lot of sense. Rogue here as well, though. Feels like he, well, he's getting ready, right? 10 more drones on the menu. Don't think we're going to see a whole lot more of those for a little bit here. The R key is going to get pressed rather rapidly here in a couple of moments, I would assume. Actually, also going up into Hydrus. Is he just not going to go for any type of pressure here? So he's just going to sit backwards. I would be very surprised. Unless if he wants to incorporate Hydrus into this play as well. He's also making the infestation pit. Huh. Interesting. Alright, could be that he, okay, no, there he goes, there he goes. Or is he just cleaning up rocks right now? Nice. Another potential. Interesting. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Those Hellions coming in here, doing the work. The purging has begun. The fire will extinguish all the infidels. The couple of drones that were there not being SCVs per se. Kind of getting burdened for the fact. Medevac is going to take over the job right now. 3 Widow Mines. Going to get dropped. Oh my god, this is starting to add up quite a bit. Come on, another one. And there we go. So only gets 2 with that one, but still, these Widow Mines right here. This one, in particular, 7 kills on that bad boy. Not too bad, not too bad. Does see that other Widow Mine right there. The Overseer doesn't fly away too quickly. Always a good thing. The other Widow Mines did manage to run away. 35. Oh my dear lord. 35-4, and there is another Widow Mine over here. Can try to reposition itself at a later point in time. 35 workers already here, going down. Yeah, it definitely feels like Rogue got a little bit surprised with the another Widow Mine with the drilling class attack here. Maybe wasn't anticipating it as much anymore, seeing that amount of Hellions, and then no Hellbat attack coming in either. 12 more workers going down. That makes a grand total of 47 workers before the 9-minute mark. Before the 9-minute mark, we have almost 50 workers killed here by Dream. This is a bit mental right now. Hive Tech on the way. +2 for both these players on the field as well, or at least on the production tab. More Widow Mines are going to enter as well into this base. Some Hydras there. Those Hydras, definitely a great way to kind of counteract these Widow Mine drops here. Becomes very difficult for those Medevacs to come in and actually do something. Wouldn't mind seeing like 4 of them maybe a little bit further downwards right now. But he should be able to adjust whenever he needs to. There is, of course, an Overlord spotting for it. Yeah, too much bio actually here as well as reinforcements. Not going to be able to do too much. Okay, Spire on the way for Rogue as well as a Hive Tech. Could be that he wants to try and get into the Greater Spire this time around. Maybe. I mean, there's no Ghost Academy just yet. It's a bit of time. That, oh, he is getting ready to make some Corruptors here. Cancel on that base. Not a kill, just a cancel. These Hydras not paying attention. There we go. Okay, are gonna pay attention now, though. Another cancel is gonna be forced out. Killing off the drone as well this time. Always a bit frustrating for Zerk to have to send over a new one. Another Widow Mine on top of that base as well. What's up, D-Faced? How you doing, buddy? These 2 Medevacs on the bottom, still gaining a lot of footholds in this theater as well. There's the Ghost Academy coming up. And there's the Greater Spire. Finally, it does enter in the field. Will it be able to do much in this situation? Yeah, it comes down to the numbers, right? It all comes down to the numbers. Widow Mine here still being a little bit frustrating as well. This drop on the left side looks like it finally has been able to be pushed backwards all the way. So this base may actually manage to get completed here. We don't have that much splash damage though from Rogue, right? We skipped the Baneling tech entirely. We have Hydras and Roaches now going up against the Bio. And the Bio does have +2/+2 as well. They got the Medevacs. It's only 2 Medevacs actually, so that is going to help out a little bit. But this is still a very difficult army to fight for against Rogue. It's not going to be able to trade out efficiently here. And he knows it, so he had to back up until he had enough. And he's going to lose a base over this, so that is a bit frustrating for him. There's some Corruptors now coming out. Not sure if Dream did manage to see those. That would have been a big spot, actually, if he did manage to see those Corruptors. I mean, you would not get yourself Corruptors here just in order to kill off those Medevacs, right? If that was the goal, you would get Mutalisks, because then the Mutalisks can get other stuff done as well. You would get, the only reason why you would get, oh dear, oh, okay, they live, Viper's more tanky than I thought they were, actually. But, yeah, as I was saying, the Corruptors, really, the reason why you would make them is for Brute Lords in this situation, right? Maybe getting some Medevacs here and there, you know, never a bad thing, that's for sure, but not really the main reason, right? So, I think Dream should be aware, and we're seeing more Ghost Academies coming down. It's going to go up to 3 Ghost Academies, actually, in total. Going to make a good amount of Ghosts right now as well. Neglect the Marauder production, because that is not really necessary anymore at this moment in time. But is it enough? Was it in time? Let's take a look here. With the Vipers as well. I suppose with the Vipers you can yoink these Ghosts into the army before they get their snipes off. This could be it actually here for Rogue. Let's see how this goes. Oh, great Blinding Clouds there as well. Actually, does that work against Snipe? I'm not even 100% certain. Anybody knows if Blinding Clouds disables the Snipe ability? I'm not 100% certain. Okay, trying to snipe the Hydralisk now actually. It's not a bad call, because if the Hydras are gone, he will be able to just clean up the Brute Lords eventually with his Vikings. So that is what he's focusing on right here, right now, and he's getting there. He lost an alright portion of his army, but most of that army was not meant to fight against the Brute Lords composition anyway. The siege tanks and such, right? Not really there to fight off against those Brute Lords. The Marauders also not there to fight against the Brute Lords. That's the reinforcing Hydralisk coming in, and then just barely in time. We'll be able to safeguard those Brute Lords again. How many do we still have remaining? We got 5 of them, not that many. Do we have any Corruptors on the field? No, we do not. No, we do not. I'm gonna bet it doesn't disable Snipe, but then again, I'm a betting man. Yeah, I wouldn't say that either, right? I mean, Storm still gets is still able to be used in Blinding Cloud. It just looked like it did get cancelled out there. Okay, yoinking in the Vikings is gonna help out again against those against the anti-Brute Lord attack tree. And down going the Overseers also. Some... Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, no, not gonna get too much. The Brute Lords are all gonna fall. As Rogue wants to try and take this into a different army composition. Is he going to be allowed to get it into that army composition though? It's going to take a while before he's going to have any lurkers on the field. It's going to take even longer before he has those upgrades that are oh so crucial. And he needs something in between that. In between is going to be a bunch of Zerglings here, it looks like. But he needs to get them soon. He needs to get them quick because, well, this is coming in here. He's lost so many workers previously. I think we're just going to see a GG coming up here momentarily, as there's not that much for Rogue available to really deal with this. There it is, GG, and Dream takes his second game right now. Takes the lead. Wow, alright. Well, you know what? Dream, he's starting to do it, guys. I know we sometimes have some batting people in the chat, but this one is not going to look like it's in your favor too much here. We saw that 9 out of 10 times Rogue manages to win against Dream, if he does go up against him. But here, there's a little bit of a different story all of a sudden developing, right? Wouldn't it be crazy if Dream manages to 3-1 Rogue? That would be pretty darn nuts. Would be pretty darn nuts. Let's see who's not accepting here. Maybe Rogue actually. Who knows? Who knows? Waiting a little bit. Waiting a little bit. It looks like maybe somebody's still hyping up the previous game. All right, so that was a cool one, right? On a small map like that, it makes sense to go for Brute Lords as well, because it is so small, less area where you can run around with the Brutes, or well, with the bio to avoid the Brute Lords, right? Feels pretty darn solid. I guess it doesn't quite work out when you lose an average of 5 drones per minute. Yeah, I mean, that is something as well, isn't it? That is definitely something else. I think it may have been even more, right? Well, was it? It was on 9 minutes and he almost lost 50. So yeah, it was even more. 5 point something. 5.7, 5.8. That's just a random stab at the numbers right there. I really don't do a lot of math. So don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Somebody smarter needs to get that math going and figure it out. If you lose 50 workers, on the 9-minute mark. How many workers is that per minute? Let me know. Alright, here we are again in the Death Aura Theatre. In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg fighting for the Jinner Green Wings. He is a very, very strong Zerg. Nobody but Rogue. Top left side, the red Terran player fighting for the Brave Star Gamers. He is on a tear. He's got 2 points on the board right now. Just needs one more. And he's allowed to lose one as well. Let's see how he's going to do here. He is Brave Star Gamers. Dream. Okay. It's kind of interesting how the one game that went into Rogue's favor was the game with the Infestor Zergling play, where he kind of went crazy with his strategy and just did something that I have not really seen before. Just going for Zerglings against Bio and then skipping Banelings. Like, I mean, what? What? Just skip Banelings, go straight into Infestors. You don't need Banelings, guys. Don't worry about it. Okay, Rogue, if you say so. There must be a little bit of a timing there where... Well, actually, no. If you do it correctly... No, there must be, right? It must be a harder timing to hit for the Zerg against certain 2-based timing pushes, right? With a lot of, like, double Medevac Marine kind of stim pack type of stuff, right? You're always going to have that Baning speed a lot earlier than you're going to have Infestors with energy. Right, whether you're getting the pathogen glands, you're still going to have to make the infestation pits after the layer instead of being able to just immediately start up the upgrade in as the layer finishes. 72 drones at the 13-minute mark, so about the same rate in both of those. Oof. Oof. Yeah, it's not looking pretty for him, is it? I like the Hydra positioning, though. I mean, that seems like some way to kind of deal with this in a sense, right? Just have a couple of Hydras in locations like that. If you incorporate a couple of spores as well, you need less Hydralisk overall to try and keep those Widow Mines out of your base. But I'm not quite sure what else you're supposed to do, right? I mean, you can't really deal with it with Zerglings because... If you have the Zerglings there, most likely the Widow Mines will burrow anyway, and your Zerglings are going to go down. Or, well, if you don't have your Zerglings there, then you're not going to be able to kill them, right? It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation there. Unless if you have the perfect splitting on those Zerglings, of course. That is going to help out, but... It's difficult to do. What's up, Light? What's up, Neo? Both cheering for Dream here. Dream is doing really well, guys, so... You came in at the right time. Another Roach opening here for Rogue. I think this is also in response to the heavy Widowmine playstyle here for Dream. Again, the fun thing being that the one time he didn't really go for anything specifically anti-Widowmine, that's the game he won, so... Huh. Keep that in mind. I guess the Roaches, yeah, like, sure, they don't take that much damage from the Widow Mines, but at the same time, they are just so incredibly, horrendously bad against the Bio that it's... yeah. Again, you may want to incorporate a little bit of both here. At least the Roaches to tank the Widow Mine shots or something like that. But even then, the Roach is very likely to just get shot to bits before they even manage to set off the Widow Mines because they're so slow. So what do you do? What do you do against this type of playstyle? I guess you're just gonna go for a very aggressive attack. Remember, I think it was game number 2, where Rogue did something very similar to this. He went for a couple of Roaches, moved them across the field, and then immediately went backwards. There was no attack whatsoever. Dream went into a overreactive state, right? He did too much to defend against it, when there was just no attack at all whatsoever happening. The third base was delayed. There were like multiple bunkers thrown down, and It feels a little bit similar here, but this time around he's actually coming in for the attack right now. We do have a medevac with those, that's actually Hellions right there. No Widowmines just quite yet available. We do have an armory as well available, so those Hellions may just turn themselves into the Hellbats right now. Let's see how they do. Don't have to, I suppose, if there's nothing here to really deal with them. Alright, a commitment onto that bunker right now. There's not that much available. I guess the repair wasn't good enough here. A lot of the SCVs are going to go down, and this may be a victory here for Rogue. He is losing still a couple of stuff as well at home, but that's only 8 workers. Yeah, there it is. GG is called. Rogue manages to tie up the series here, finding a weakness in the build of Dream. Guys, I don't want to jinx it, but have you seen how smooth the stream has been running? How little frame drops we've been getting so far? Pretty darn smooth, right? Pretty darn smooth. Very excited about all of this. Looks good. It does, doesn't it? Looks good. Not detecting massive frame drops or anything like that. So, yeah, looking good. This first series already taking a while here, right? It's a best of 5, but we're going into game number 5 here with quite a bit of macro plays behind this as well. Let's take a look, actually. The first game was already 20 minutes. The second game, 20 minutes. The third game, 15 minutes. It's only the fourth game that was only, well, barely not 6 minutes, but still, these guys, they are going at it quite heavily. And that's always fun to see, you know. Sometimes in these online settings, specifically, I suppose, Rogue can get quite aggressive, can try to aim to end the game a little bit too early on. But to be fair, what he did on Death Aura, that seemed very, very much like it was meant to kill what Dream is doing, right? If you continuously go for 3cc into Hellion, Widowmine drops, harassments, you're not going to have that much at home, especially to defend against roaches, right? You're not going to have jack nothing. Jack skedaddles. You're not going to have much, alright? You're going to have a single bunker. That bunker with 2 marauders in it, you better repair. If the repair doesn't cut it, then you're a dead boy. You're pretty much a dead boy. So, definitely works out. You got to be careful, though. You can't just start doing this now blindly, because Dream, you know what? It's still a potential that he doesn't quite go for the Widowmine harassment, just goes into something like Banshees instead. Also, Magnetics, thank you for gifting a sub to Giant Fool right there. Much appreciated, my man. Much appreciated. That is pretty darn awesome. Alright, so here we go. Game number 5. We already have some interesting stuff happening here. A little bit of a blue zit being developed right there in the top side. Anyway, it's from the Blue Zerg. He is from the Jinnah Greenwings. He is a rogue. Bottom right side, his opponents fighting for the Brave Star Gamers. He's the red Terran player. Give it up for Dream. Been able to get quite ahead in this series before. Well, at least with 1 point. Against Rogue, I would say that is quite ahead. Oh my god, Rogue, you dirty, dirty little man. From being quite aggressive, he goes into being super aggressive. Like, my dear god, this is ballsy. This is so incredibly ballsy. Alright, well, let's see how it unfolds here. What Dream is going to go for. It looks like it will be a command center on the low ground right now. He's going to go scout with the SCV. That is a very crucial thing. I don't think we've seen much of SCV scouting here from Dream so far. But this time around, that is what he's going to be doing. Unless if he's trying to build a proxy starport. Yeah, this is where he is going to. These links right here sneaking their way around very carefully as well. We'll be able to get across the field. I guess sending the SCV towards past the top side as well Maybe Dream trying to find some sort of a... oh my god, those Zerglings so incredibly smart. It's like they know, it's like they know. Anyway, yes, trying to find potentially some sort of a attack or some sort of Ling aggression coming in. I think Rogue is trying to convince the Dream that there's nothing going on here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright, here we go. Dream trying to get everything sorted here. He's got that bunker on the way. There is already an Overlord pretty darn close as well, though, for the Ravager Biles to start landing here. It's not quite here yet, though. It's going to take him a while. May cost him 1 or 2 volleys of efficiency. More SCVs are being pulled, as well as a second bunker on that high ground. Still making that command center here. To ensure that if he holds this, this is going to be the thing for him. There we go, a Cyclone. Oh, I love the Cyclone in this situation in particular. Very smart choice. Very, very smart choice. He's also already built a supply depot behind his mineral line here as well. Very common to have your supply depots being picked off here, and that is what a Dream already anticipated as well. There we go. Okay, there's the Biles on top of that bunker. Actually, the bunker does fall. That was enough Biles to break it down instantly. SCVs are going to have to be pulled. Here is the first Cyclone. Needs to get a lock on. There we go. Is going to have to... Oh my god, the lock on breaks. That is horrendous. Things are not looking all too great here for the Terran player. Second Cyclone on the way. Cannot afford to let a second lock on break. Oh, that is exactly what happens though. And now more reinforcements is coming in. Needed to... Oh my god, another lock on breaks. That is... horrendous. That is not what you need to happen here. What, that is another bunker going down as well. 3 lock-ons. This could have been 3 last Ravagers right now. And Dream, he is just still... Okay, there we go. Finally being able to clean up some of the stuff here. But more Zerglings are coming in. And Zerglings, you know, they are a bit more difficult to be dealt with by the Cyclone. Maybe with some good micro, though. They don't have speed, which makes them very, very bad as well. I think, you know what? There we go. Dream did manage to do it.